Right.
So why don't you guys go ahead and go on mute unless you've got something to say, and then we can, do a little bit more interactive stuff. So, Jose, go ahead and mute your microphone for now. All right. So, hey, as you can see, we have technology working for us this time. Last time, it got a little goofy trying to figure out what Google had done to Hangouts on Air. So this is going to give us the video again for everybody to kind of see what's going on and get updated, and give us a chance to communicate with each other. There was an agenda that I for the meeting, and it is, one second. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up here. Oops, where'd it go? One second, let me try and get to the right screen. There we go. All right, that's crazy looking. We're gonna go over here, and oh, see, I had it already, and I got myself messed up here. One second. Don't fall asleep, Imola. We'll get there. All right. So just the general agenda is taking forever to load. We're just going to talk about some basic, things about the camp. 17, we're, going to make some changes, hopefully in a positive direction. And then we'll talk about these subjects and other changes, that are kind of evolving. It's kind of interesting how, these changes have been popping up, but I feel like it's, a door closes and then a window opens for a lot of stuff. So I feel very positive about whatever changes are coming, and I'm hoping that we can work together to make a really amazing camp this year. All right. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about was about the 2017 is we're not going to be a village. It was an awful lot of work and an awful lot of stress last year trying to do the village. And then we had all that new infrastructure that was coming and going. So we're going to try and keep it small, like about 25 people, keep it kind of intimate. And one of the things that, I'm going to talk about in a few minutes is how let's just kind of keep it our family. Let's not, put huge amounts of stress on things, but at the same time, let's all just kind of work together to make the camp, a lot of fun for us as well as people that come to the camping and visit. I think 2016 was a lot of hard lessons, and in the course of that, some people are moving on to new places. I'm seeing, a lot of people returning, but at the same time, we have a chance to welcome some new blood. But if Christy and brings some of the people she's talking about bringing, that'll be a nice, group of extra people. I think Jeff mentioned some people that he wanted to bring. So it's this kind of energy that I'd like to see continue in our camp, where you guys are bringing your friends and loved ones into the camp, and then we just progress from there. Radical Ritual is the theme for Burning Man 2017. Radical ritual is such an amazing idea. It's a departure from the last 5 years of themes because it just feels like a new point of view. And I'm not sure what Burning Man plans on doing with that, but I'm looking forward to the possibilities from Sun Guardians, because even though we're a camp with a spiritual theme, I know a lot of our campers are not spiritual people per se, but we can have a lot of fun, with the way our temple is going to be set up and the different kind of services that we can offer the community. Right now, if you notice on the agenda, we have quite a few people signed up for camp right now. Imola, Jose, Maurice, Matt, Nina, Sam, and Cosmic Scout to be with camp. And it looks like, unless something awful keeps people from coming, it looks like these people are definitely going to be with us. And the main factor for locking you in is the camp fee, and that's something we'll talk about later too. Imola did pay her camp fee already, helping me out with some purchases I was able to make for the temple. Then I was able to get it literally 20% of what it would have cost me any other time. Registered, but I'm not sure of what their status is right now, is Jordana, Jamie, Ray, and Larry. Each of them have life things going on that I'm aware of, and I'm not sure if they're coming back to Sun Guardians or if they're going to Burning Man. So those are still kind of up in the air. Ray might be going to Boz possibly, but I've only got a maybe on that right now. And then everybody knows that Pico had some time with his wife and decided that energy into that and have a nice vacation together. Now, there's a few people that are showing up to meetings that aren't registered yet, so I need to get you registered on this link, the group, or this link that is at pin or into this agenda. So I just need those things taken care of. If you're going to be there, I need you registered, and then we'll talk about camp fee again, like I said, later on. Your camp leadership right now is, of course, myself as mayor this year. And then camp leads include Sam and Matt. If we get a third person, that would be helpful. Otherwise, we'll just continue with what we have. Jose is in charge of the kitchen. That includes sanitation and safety. And that's really important, especially since we're going to have a food permit while we're out there. And we learned a lot of lessons from last year in that area too. The kind of people I need to fill positions right now is LNT and MOOP, and someone to kind of just take the lead on the shower, which is just like normal daily maintenance stuff. And the shower situation is also a question mark that we're going to talk about later on, but Sam is also working on an idea for evaporating water, so we don't have to rely so much on gray water tanks if we decide to go that route. Last year was the only year that we did gray water tanks, and unfortunately they got really kind of abused and overused, but that was a problem that we now have a solution to, and we'll do better going forward. Let's see, the camp volunteering. We're going to use an application online called iVolunteer, And I'll publish that link a little bit later in the year when we need to really start getting people nailed down with, you know, if they're coming out or not, and to get people to sign up for the different roles. And one of the things that I'm going to do a little bit differently, hopefully to get people more interested in supporting each other, is to get people signed up in teams. Like there'll be a team that'll host yoga on Monday, and a team that'll host maybe meditation Monday afternoon. And we'll do that with each event. You know, like we'll have 4 or 5 people that will work together at each event, and they're responsible for making sure each other are there, and you know, just reminders. The nice thing about the iVolunteer app is that you everybody will sign up, and you'll sign up with your email address, and then you'll get a list of your volunteer stuff that you'll print out and bring with you out to the class, so you know exactly, you know, what's going on for your own stuff. And that's a really good, you know, thing to have. With your campmates in camp, I'm hoping to see people get a little bit more invested with the operation of the camp. We'll, you know, get people more interested in making sure events, you know, happen, whether I'm there or not. You know, so there's nobody that needs to, you know, be chasing after other people. That you're like some intrinsic desires to make things happen. I'll share a little story too. It's I know a lot of you guys know about a camp named Glamcocks, and the Glamcocks have, well, I mean, this group of guys are very, you know, high energy, A-type personalities that are, you know, go-getters, and just seem to be just naturally happy and have a great support mechanism. I was with some of the guys the other day, and I said, how do you guys keep that cohesion? How do you guys stay so well bonded together? Because they go to New York together, they go to Seattle together, they do things together. And they said, well, we invite our friends. I was like, yeah, you know, I think I need to encourage that a little bit more in my camp. You know, that's, you know, if you wanna burn with, you know, bring your friends, bring the people you care about, and not that I want to create any type of cliques by any means, but let's, you know, have fun together, and you know, create as much positive energy this year that we can muster. Meal planning, right now that's looking to be about the same way as last year, unless anybody's got other ideas. We'll break out the week. You know, people responsible for meals for different days. We should have probably one person per meal, and that involves everything. That's the prep, cooking, cleanup, and everything. And if we can get somebody to help you, or maybe we can just create a volunteer role where somebody can come and be your helping hand. But that'll make it like maybe once or twice a week, the whole week in the kitchen for each person. And with about 25 people, it should work out really well. And I'm not thinking about a camp party on Wednesday. I'm not sure if you guys want to do that or not, but I'll put that on the table, especially in the next section where I want to hear from you guys. This is the point where I'm going to ask you to kind of come off your mics, turn on your mics, whoever's with me here. And let's talk about some things in camp. Like one thing I have here, you guys, about, is it worth it to create a camp costume for when we're hosting events in camp? Because I had that dead monk idea with the paper mask with a skull. and the vest and some, arm cuffs and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that?
I think for camp night we could wear something together.
For what night?
Camp night? The Wednesday party.
Oh, well, see, like I was saying, I'm not planning on a Wednesday party right now.
Oh no, sorry.
I'm not sure if you guys want to pursue that or not. I mean, it was a nice event. But I want to try and I don't know. I mean, we have our meals together, for the most part. Do we want to do that dinner party, or do you guys just want to do a cocktail party together? But I want to loop back to the original question. Matt or Jose, I mean, what do you guys think? Imola, about the idea of, coming up with like these, neo monk costumes. I mean, I saw on the TV show called Lucifer here in the United States, the angels had these really cool costumes, and that's what I was kind of thinking about. But since we're doing a thing on the goddess of death, then it might be kind of fun to do like these skull paper masks that I found. Imola, you're falling asleep, girl?
I'm here. I like the idea, and what I'm thinking about is costume makes most sense when we are going to meet other people, so that they see that we are a group. So
I like that.
When we go out together.
Yeah, I like that too. I like the idea of us maybe at least having a night or two where, maybe we just all head out and enjoy the playa together. And I'm not talking about being fucked up. I'm, just go on a tour.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I like the idea of costumes. I like the original Dead Monk costume a lot. That being said, I don't really know how to sew, so I wouldn't I wouldn't know where to begin there. But if I can get some help on that front, that would be cool.
I think I can do that, and I think I found a vest or like a sweater kind of thing that is almost exactly what I saw in the original idea, that is available on Amazon at a really cheap price too. And then the cuffs are pretty much just cutting off a sleeve, and then about like here, like maybe not a sweatshirt, but a sweater or something like that. And maybe putting a metal band around it. I'll share more ideas with you guys. Jose and Maurice, did you want to add anything to that too?
Hola.
Hola.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hola, can you hear me? Okay. Maybe we can do that for everybody also. And it's like send a sample or something. And we can make like 20 customs.
Okay. Well, let me see what I can throw together with a little bit more detail, and then I'll share it with you guys between now and the next time we get together.
Exactly. And maybe everybody send like a size, and we do the rest. We can.
Well, I think if we, I mean, as far as like some of the main components, like the top and the bottom, if we all kind of come to a consensus on what that would be, and if we can create a space where it's easy to get, like an Amazon order, for example, I think everybody can take care of themselves that is willing to participate. Then for little things like the cuffs and stuff like that, maybe I can find some way of making a bunch for people. And then we can get that pattern out for the masks out for people to, everybody can make their own. And maybe you want to customize it or something like that too. Make a fun art project out of it. So yeah. we can explore that a little bit more. Does anybody have anything else on that subject? Now, the three of you that are here now, each of you camped with me for the first time in 2016. But I did want to kind of throw it out and say, what would you do different? Was something without any judgment and without providing an answer for it right now. What would you like to see done differently for camp? Is there something that stands out to you?
I'm just shower for me is a very important thing, and the only kind of shower I experienced was the one that we had in 2016. I'm not sure what the alternative could be.
I definitely want to talk about that more. I'll revisit that again in a minute. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything else that they'd like to bring up that maybe should be different or has an idea?
The bag. I mean, the
Say
problem
that again?
Hola. The bags, the shower bags can work maybe, because the problem here is the gray water, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe this is a good time just to talk about the showers then. Mm-hmm. So we don't want to experience the Amola. It's kind of funny. It's like the shower that we had this year was extraordinarily luxurious for a Burning Man camp. It was a little over the top, and Doug wanted to make sure that Jet was comfortable, and so he put a lot of work into that shower. But the one thing that we didn't test was how much water was coming through that bloody thing when when we fired it up, and then just monitoring people doing showers became another issue. So it was a big learning curve. There's a couple of things that we could do. We could go with the same shower but put a nozzle on it that really uses a lot less water. There's that option. But I'm a little bit worried because watching Jet and Doug, put up and take down the shower, these are the guys that created it. And it still took them, more than 2 hours to put it up and take it down. So I'm just worried about the bandwidth that would needed to make that happen. Alternatively, I have been looking at those little tent things where we could hang a bag on the inside. And we've done that every year before that. And our system to get rid of the water was an evap pond. And nobody, at least that I've talked to so far, wants to deal with an evap pond again, even though it did work pretty good in the end for all intent and purposes. But Sam said he's got an idea for creating a mechanism to help just get rid of water a little bit better. So, Imola, rest assured, we'll make sure you can take a decent shower. We'll make sure everybody can take a decent shower. But we're going to have to do some work to come up with a way so we have something that's practical. And I think we could do it without breaking the bank. I think we could do it fairly simple. We already, and plus I have access to, now with my job, I have access to stuff that's really cheap. So we can make this happen. Any other questions on the shower?
No.
Okay. Any other suggestions for what people might want to see differently in camp?
Well, it's gonna be.
Maybe
I-
just. So,
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
Whoa. Matt, you go. Matt?
Oh, sure. So, yeah, I think the volunteering and making sure people understand what they're signed up for and show up is important. I like your suggestions so far on, like having a couple people responsible for specific things, and also, having people sign up through iVolunteer will probably help there. So that was one thing. The other thing is also just making sure people are, I don't know, like getting along and nice to each other, but I don't have any idea how to solve that. I felt like there was some friction and some cliques, and so yeah, maybe just with a smaller camp size, it'll be better. But yeah, I feel like we do need to be nice to each other, and also like welcoming of people who want to come hang out with us. Maybe on a camp night or during other activities that we might host.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Jose? Maurice? Maurice, you've been very quiet.
No, she left a little bit. She was wondering about the yoga. The yoga.
Okay. What's
Yeah,
the question?
Yeah, it's gonna be every day, and also it's gonna be like 2 times of the day, and about volunteer over there.
Right now, I've scheduled yoga classes for. Okay, let me back up a bit. So I made a mistake in the book last year, and then I'm going to take that mistake and say, I'm going to make the mistake again, but I'm going to do it right. So what I'm going to do is just schedule 11 o'clock yoga for the week and a 1 o'clock meditation. Take over 1 or 2 of the meditation classes. Makai will take over 2 of the yoga classes. I'm thinking Alex Good News will probably be back, and we'll have other people that'll be teaching if they want. And then we can open up the schedule for other yoga classes earlier if people want to. But right now, I'm just looking at the 11 o'clock through the week. So yes, there's at least 1 yoga class a day,
Okay.
Monday through Saturday.
Okay, and also I think it's like a very early to know all the schedule how it's gonna be, because people they are getting, into the year, and that they're thinking about it. I don't know.
Well,
how-
it's part of my job to start getting ready early. That's all. Like last year, you didn't join us until it was like
Yeah.
August when you joined the camp.
I got, yeah.
So it's you're seeing a lot of the preamble now. You're seeing a lot of the early planning now, because there's a lot
normal.
that goes into it. So yeah. All right. Anything else?
yeah, so one feedback for the last year's camp is regarding the kitchen, where people didn't bring enough bacon or didn't bring enough kitchen towels, Or so maybe at some point when the final list is done, who's coming, just reiterate or have a checklist. You know, like we had the Excel spreadsheet last time, and then where people would have to write down, let's say, when they volunteer or what they're going to offer. Just have one tab that says, yes, I agree up to bring this much stuff for the kitchen. Yes, I agree to bring fresh clothes for every day. Yes, I agree to, you know, whatever. And
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yes.
and the second thing is, are we, I don't know how this works, but is the camp buying tickets together, or is everybody responsible for buying their own tickets?
Okay, actually, that's a really good question. Thanks for bringing that up, because we're at the point now where we need to get ready for the direct group sale of tickets. And that means, well, this is what happened. Last year, Burning Man allocated me directly 20 tickets for the camp. That means they were put in my hands, and I was able to channel these out to people that were coming. I focused on people that were coming to camp to help build and leadership. And I'll be doing the same thing this year. There is a caveat, though, that some of the tickets that I get have to go to Ruda's Lounge, even though they're not camping with us. So I'm going to probably end up giving them at least a quarter of the tickets that get allocated to us, because they were part of our village this year. They don't get on the DGS for 2017. So to make sure that he gets something out of it, I've got to keep that end of the promise. So basically, when I get notified, which should actually be within days, to be honest with you, I'll have to choose who is going to get those tickets. And right now, I don't have a lot of people registered with camp. So, I mean, it's got to be me, Matt, Sam, and Jose, and Maurice, probably in the top 5. Just because there's responsibility from each of these people. Are you going this year? You're not going this year. Okay, never mind. Champa's here. He's being quiet, but he intimated that he wanted to go at some point, but I think he means next year. Okay, so he's out of the picture. So I mean, if you've paid your camp fee, committed to the camp, then you're gonna be on the list for the DGS. Some people I see. Hi, Kurt. By the way, I see you joined us. Like Kurt will probably get a ticket from the Rangers or something like that, I think. But I don't know how many Rangers we have. We only have the one so far. So, but that's how I'll handle at least the directed group sale when that starts off. And then, but everybody else has to, buy their own ticket. In some cases, like when the DGS does come out, you have to be ready to pay for the ticket. It's going to be $425 for that ticket. It can be a vehicle pass too if they're going to keep doing that. So kind of just be prepared. It's a lot of money coming up. So camp fee is one thing, and then the ticket sale is another. And all those are coming up real fast. Question, Imola?
Thank you. That's all.
Okay, cool. Well, we talked about a lot of stuff. Kurt, I gave everybody a chance to maybe bring up a subject that they'd like to see done better this year. That maybe is there something that you can think of that might you want to put on the table? We're not going to make any judgments on it. We're not going to offer solutions to it per se. But if there's something that you want to make a suggestion, then we can talk a bit more later on.
One thing that comes to mind is clear expectations on the volunteer shifts and schedules, and a better system for keeping track of that. Both reminders and check off that it's been done, sort of thing. Just a more complete system.
When you get a chance to go back and review the video, you're going to see where we actually talked about that.
Okay.
We're going to be using an online software called iVolunteer that once you signed up, you'll get a list of everything you volunteered for. And they all have, I think they have pretty good explanations on them, as I recall, but I'm still working on it, and I'm not going to put that out until after the main ticket sale is out there, so we know really who we got.
Great.
Now, for those watching the video at home, the password is January 2016. So if you just email me or message me that password, at least I know that you've seen the video. Kurt, I would ask that you, when you get a chance, just go ahead and take a look at it.
Sure.
Yeah, and again, I want to reiterate, if you have friends or family that want to be part of a camp, I think that we'd have a stronger, more unified and friendly group if we're bringing people that we know. Someone asked me, well, I want to bring my boyfriend. Someone asked me once, and I said, if this is somebody that you trust, then bring them on. I'm not going to drag anybody through the coals unless it's somebody kind of out of the blue that I want to see if they can fit in. Of course, I'll do an interview. But if it's a friend or family that you guys want to bring, let's bring it, because I think we can have a better overall cohesion with each other, if we are already attached to someone that we're bringing to camp. Does that sound good, you guys?
Yeah, very good.
All right. Well, unless you guys have anything you want to bring to the table, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. And then I'll get the video posted.
Who
was that? Hey.
So what are the implications of not being a village? Like, will we be placed within another village, or how does that work?
No, we'll just be placed as our own theme camp. Like 8-Bit Bunny Bar was next to us, or Camp Beaverton next to them. We'll just be a camp. The only difference between a village and a theme camp is that a village is more than one theme camp together in their own structures.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's worked out better for us in the past. I was reaching a little bit last year with some ideas. Makai and the group from Vegas, I've known them for a long time. So, it was a good idea, but it's an idea that's done. So there. All right, cool. I'm looking forward. I'll talk to you guys either when DGS comes up, or we'll plan something for either late February or March. But if you can pay the camp fee and you're definitely committed, please go ahead and do that. The camp fee is still $300. Even though we had a lot of shifting things going on, You know, every time I, you know, put the expenses together, it still comes out to be about the same. I don't want to have to take money on the playa again. You know, that collection that we had to do for the, you know, gray water pickup just was really uncomfortable, and I don't want to have to put people through that again, if that makes any sense. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Imola, thank you for getting up in the middle of the morning to join us. Thank you, everyone. Jose, Maurice, Kurt, Matt, everybody that checks in later on, please feel free to leave your comments and thoughts, and the code word too, if you would send that to me. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
Night.